The Israeli military has moved into a heightened state of readiness as it prepares to carry out the initial stage of a plan intended to secure the release of hostages held in Gaza. This development follows signals that Hamas is prepared to release all hostages, both living and deceased, under the framework of a new peace initiative proposed by a leading US political figure. According to the military's announcement, the Chief of the General Staff convened a special meeting to evaluate the latest changes on the ground. Following this assessment, the army was instructed by political leadership to advance preparations for the first phase of the hostage release operation. Officials stressed that the safety of Israeli forces remains a top priority. Resources and capabilities are being concentrated in the Southern Command to provide protection and operational flexibility. Soldiers have been directed to maintain maximum alertness, reflecting the sensitive nature of the mission and the possibility of sudden developments. Military sources explained that forces have already repositioned into a more defensive posture inside Gaza. At this stage, no offensive strikes are being conducted, yet the army continues to hold its positions without withdrawing equipment or personnel. The decision signals a deliberate attempt to balance readiness with restraint, ensuring that escalation is avoided unless absolutely necessary, while maintaining deterrence and operational control. This military positioning is directly tied to a broader peace proposal recently unveiled in Washington. The plan is built around 20 points, including an immediate halt to Israeli military activity in Gaza, the complete disarmament of Hamas, and the reconstruction of Gaza under a newly formed Palestinian governing structure. Oversight for this arrangement would be provided by an international coalition, with the United States playing a leading role. The aim is to create conditions for stability, governance, and long-term peace in the region while ending the cycle of conflict. The political figure promoting this plan has emphasized that negotiations are nearing completion, suggesting that the deal could soon be finalized. In a public statement delivered in the US Capitol, he underlined optimism, but also cautioned that time is limited and that clear commitments must be honored by all parties. Alongside the proposal, a firm ultimatum was issued to Hamas: release all hostages, including the remains of those who have died, by a specified deadline. The warning stressed that failure to comply would trigger an extraordinary response against Hamas, with the declaration that peace in the Middle East will be achieved, one way or another. This rhetoric signals that while the preference remains for diplomacy and compromise, forceful action is not being ruled out if cooperation does not materialize. In summary, the situation reflects a complex mix of military caution, political maneuvering, and high-stakes diplomacy. Israel's forces are standing ready, deliberately avoiding further escalation while preparing to act if the deal moves forward. The peace plan, if implemented, could represent a turning point, ending hostilities, neutralizing militant capabilities, and rebuilding Gaza under international supervision. Yet, the success of this initiative hinges on the immediate release of hostages and the willingness of both sides to commit fully to the terms. The coming days will be decisive in determining whether this vision of peace can move from negotiation to reality.